Hey guys, my name is Chimangazo and welcome to my channel. As always, it is such a delight to have you tune in once again this week. If you are watching the channel for the first time, please kindly consider subscribing for all things relatable, easy and affordable homemaking content. And if you have recently joined the family, welcome. I see there has been a number of you guys who have recently joined. I see you guys and I want to send a special warm welcome to you. How about you actually just go ahead and leave me a hello on the comment section where I can just warmly and personally welcome you over there. Alright guys, now I've sort of been thinking, what do I get to show you this week? Not because there's no stuff to show, but just to keep the video or the house tour video interesting. I think the more we get to complete tasks in the house, it gets really hard to say, what do I get to show, what do I not get to show? And so if today's video is disappointing, please you guys, you just have to pardon me, but I thought maybe there's just a few little tiny things that I can still get to show without giving away too much. And I hope I'm not giving away too much, because I really want you guys to enjoy the house tour video, which should come sometime. I'm even scared to tell you when it's gonna come at this point, because you guys are gonna think, oh my goodness, but this is so far along. Anyway, so today I'll just show you snippets of things that we have done in the past week. I can tell you right now, as of today, I'm recording this video on Monday 13th of June. Well, this specific clip on the 13th of June, and the guys are busy painting inside the house, and that already shows you that we are working really on the final touches of the interior. There is still a bit of work that needs to be done in the exterior, especially the garage, the paving, painting and whatnot. So because this makes for like a really short video, I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and take today's video, get to share with you an experience I've had with Deco Furn over the past week. If you follow me on Instagram, Chimangazo at Home, in case you don't follow me, you must have seen that last week was primarily spent on just drama in my life with a Deco Furn. So what happened was, you guys will remember that last week I shared with you guys a video of the kitchen wrap company, and I had been on the market looking for like a nice white glossy dining table, and I couldn't find anything, or at least anything I like, or anything that was within the budget I wanted to work in. That said, I thought, you know what, I can get a table wrapped. So I thought, let me go get a table at Deco Furn, which I will then get the guys at the kitchen wrap to wrap for me. Cool. I go get a table and it's delivered, but when it gets home, and you know, I think these days a lot of furniture, more especially small furniture shops, will sell you boxed furniture which you have to assemble. Not the point, but anyway, I felt like I need to emphasize that. So it gets home, I also paid for assembly, and they assemble it up for me. And just right away, I can see that the table really was too large. It was too large for the small dining area that you guys will get to see very soon. Anyway, I decide right there and then, but then again, when I do eventually decide that this is too big, I think it was about past 4, something to 5, and it was too late in any case to make any communication. I thought it's not a big deal, because in any case, shops will give you about 7 to 10 days to change your mind, or whatever the case is. So the following day, literally first thing in the morning, I called the Centurion Deco Furn branch, and I tell them, guys, I need to refund for the table that I bought yesterday. It arrived, they assembled it as we agreed, but it is too large. It really is just too large for my dining area. And to my surprise, the guys at the branch say, you know what, if it's assembled, unfortunately we cannot take it back. And at that point, I'm waiting to hear what more. So you can't take it back because it's been assembled by you guys. Totally doesn't make sense. But then also, you know, I have a lot of things going on in my life right now. My work is so demanding. I've got renovations going on. Like, there's just a lot going on. And normally I'm a fighter, you guys. Like, I am a fighter. I will fight right through the bitter end. But at that point, really, I just decided, you know, it's not worth the struggle. I'm just gonna list up the table for sale on my Instagram page. But also what I did was to really short sell, I think, myself, because while I got it for 2.2, I think I listed it for like about 1.4, if I'm not mistaken. But also I realized that because before I could sell it, I actually just exposed the shop to say, you know what, I think they've got like a very unfair business practices, because essentially when you buy something and you've got the receipt, you know, they obviously also are welcome to check if the product is still in good use, good shape and whatnot, all those things, they can do that. But just to plainly refuse to refund on the premise that it is assembled, really, to me, was upset. And also, but also I do actually say, I think I moved quite a bit before I actually also explained to you guys. I say to them, you know what, it doesn't make sense, because, you know, this condition that you're telling me is not printed on the receipt, or it was not even actually communicated to me. And they said, no, those terms and conditions are on their website. And that already created problems for me, because if I am buying in store and I make my purchase, everything goes well, but it turns out that there are terms and conditions that I must be appraised of as a consumer, then I am not, and I do not expect for a store to direct me to their website to look for those terms and conditions. It would be totally different if I was buying online. Anyway, cool. Where was I? I listed it up for sale on my Instagram page, and I just also explained that, you know, I think you guys need to think twice before buying from them and whatnot, right? Cool. And I was going to leave it there. But then I realized the number of inboxes I got from people sharing their own experiences. I just knew that we were dealing with some sort of a crime syndicate. And I think for that night, I dedicated my night to studying the Consumer Protection Act. Excuse me, I dedicated that night to study the Consumer Protection Act. And the following morning, I had gathered enough conviction to know that they were mad and they were taking people for a ride, and it had to be addressed and also just stopped. And they were going to start with me. So the following day, I called the office to say, in fact, I didn't call, I just went to the branch. And I said, you know, we spoke yesterday about returning, but you said you couldn't refund me for 1, 2, 3. And then I said to her, but then now I would want then for you to address your terms and conditions on the premise of the Consumer Protection Act, which makes it very clear that every customer has a right to return goods to a supplier. And a whole lot of things that I did actually submit as an argument. And the lady there, the manager, Suzanne, said she unfortunately was not appraised with a Consumer Protection Act, and therefore she was unable to have that conversation with me on that premise. I said, I think that is fair, but then that would mean that we would need to speak to the next person, and the next person in that instance would then be the regional manager. Tried getting hold of the regional manager while I was still in store. I think he was not in office, but the assistant regional manager, the Gauteng assistant regional manager, then was in store. And once again, I explained everything, and just very rude and condescending says, you know what, I hear what you're saying, our rules, and you are free to just interpret the law the way you want. When I tell you that I got the shock of my life, first I think of the condescending and white supremacy manner in which I was addressed, and just the sheer lack of customer care that they displayed. I could not even believe it, and realized right there and then that whatever I say, he was not willing to come to the table to reason with me. At that point, I had also made it known to them that I was recording the conversation, even though the regional manager our assistant regional manager did not want me to, but I don't take instruction from white men. So I went ahead and recorded my conversation. So what happened was that I said at that point I would then need to speak to the next person, and the store manager said that they would try to get hold of the regional manager, because that was the assistant regional manager. But at that point I said, you know what, I have raised the concern with the region, and his submission is that he wants to stand or maintain the same position that you as a store have maintained, and therefore I feel like it does not get us anywhere to keep having to repeat the same process in the same level. I would request for an audience from the national office. And I went ahead to draft then an email. I want to try and attach it here, but I don't think that you guys will read it properly. So if you want to read that, because I feel like also if you guys ever encounter a problem like this, you can sort of copy and paste that email that I wrote, which is really nicely structured. Never mind the typos. I was obviously fuming and banging, and so I'm still saying go find it at my Instagram page. I've got like a think twice before you buy at Deco Furn highlights on my Insta page, so you can copy and paste that and use it for future similar encounters. Anyway, pushed to get to speak to the national office, and before that could happen, Susan just once again came back to say, excuse me guys, you'll remember I had a bit of a cold last week, so that's just now dying down, but of course you have to keep clearing your voice. Anyway, Susan came back to say that, you know what, the regional manager maintains the position, and I said cool. In any case, I was out of that level. I need to speak to someone at the national office, and that is when I got to draft that letter and premise my argument on the Consumer Protection Act, referencing all the clauses which in my view the shop was and is in violation of. And I think that was about a 2.5-page document. Once again, find it on my stories on Instagram. And I think 4 hours went by and I did not get a response, not one to acknowledge that the letter was received. And I kept calling to say, hey, did you get it to somebody at national office? And they had said, no, give us time and we'll come back. But when they did it, I kept insisting. I think on about my 3rd call, I think about 50 minutes after that. But at that point also, can I just tell you, at that point I had resolved that, you know what, I have no business keeping this table. It is not mine to keep, and I'm going to leave it at the shop. I do not care if they refund me today. What I know is that even if it's a year later, they are going to refund me, because they are not going to smoke me. I'm not Daha. I will not be smoked. I will not be smoked by capitalists. Anyway, what happened then was while I was on my way, because I went to Centurion, got a guy with a bakkie and said, come to my house, come, let's go take the table. I go get the table, take it to Deco Furn. And at that point, I was just going to make it known that I'm leaving it there. What they do with it was no longer my problem, but they were going to refund me. 2 years, 3 years, it does not matter how long it was going to take, but they were going to refund me. But it just also happened that while I was on my way, then the national sales manager calls me to say, hey, I got your letter. And at first he wanted to put some sort of an argument to say that no, you had a chance to have a look at the table at the shop and whatnot, but you know what, I don't really want to argue with you, so I can make a plan. But then I said, how about you just go ahead and send me an email of everything that you want to discuss on this telephone, because I'm just also driving to your store to return the table. And sure enough, you guys will not even believe, that from the 2-pager document arguing facts, this guy just comes back to say that, and I'll insert his email here, which you can also, by the way, find also on my IG Deco stories. He says to me, we are willing to refund you. You guys will have a look at this. I'll put it up here. Just like that. Just like that. And that to me instantly suggested that, first of all, it was an admission to guilt. It is an admission to guilt, because if not, then you come with a counter argument to say, this is not true, this is a false, this and this, and you substantiate your argument premised as well on the book of law. They did not do any of that. And given all those other complaints and concerns that people had shared with me, and you guys will get to see just how horrible these people are as a business on my stories, because I also got to reshare some of those stories that people were sharing with me. I realized that I think they may have, in fact, I'm very confident that if the number of people that have shared their experiences with me really is just like a drop in the ocean, those people have unlawfully gained millions of rands from unsuspecting South Africans. And so that is the drama that unfolded last week. And what am I saying? I mean, I obviously don't get to say, go buy at this place, don't go buy at this place. But given the customer service and given their terms and conditions, which are unfair and just unfavorable to the consumer, I'd strongly advise that you think twice before you buy at Deco. And that is my piece for today. Thank you for listening to my chant. I think right now I'm just going to give you then a bit of an update of what I have been up to in the property. And as always, I love hearing from you, reading your comments, your thoughts and suggestions. Also, please go ahead and indulge me on the comment section if you have experienced something similar with Deco or any of service providers. And guys, if you can, appraise yourself with the Consumer Protection Act. It's a helpful document. Do not be played. Do not be played by anyone when you've got the law to protect you. And once again, I also said, feel free to go to my stories to copy and keep on your archives the argument that I sent to Deco, so that you can also get to use it in similar experiences. I don't know if I've shared this because I've been talking for a while, but they are going to be refunding me. But they will be deducting a certain percentage, which they said is for damage. Bull. But also I thought, you know, it was not worth fighting, because in any case, the law does allow them to deduct what they call a handling or cancellation fee. But that is that for today. Let me know your thoughts and comments on the comments section below. Before the progress updates, here's just a few things that I have reshared on my Deco highlights, which you'll find on my Instagram. Let me know what you guys think, but most certainly go check that out, and don't forget to share this with your friends and family. All right, now on to the renovation updates. You guys, I must tell you, I got a quotation for wall paneling. And if I can tell you just how much those quotations were, you will not even believe. But I'm a good shopper. I shop around for quotes until I turn green. And so I eventually found this guy. His name is Trevor. I will put his phone number here. Great guy. And he came to do my paneling, the most affordable quote ever, like 3, 4, 5 times more affordable than the 2 quotes that I had already received for wall paneling, you guys. And I must just also mention that I've been very happy with his work. If you can also check on my wall over here, you guys, the contractor that is working here is so detailed and pays due diligence. So if you can tell, the wall is marked to say where the pedestals will go, like everything is just so detailed. And then Trevor just said to come around and play with his pencil and just draw all over around the place. The other thing that you will quickly pick up is that I have also painted the frames, the sliding door frames and the window frames into black. And I think this already suggests to you what sort of color scheme that we will be going with in this house. cannot wait to show you guys. I already have my sideboard and my TV stand, which were both done by the carpenter that did my office, and my kitchen success, whom I have shared his contact details both on my channel here and also on my YouTube, no, not my YouTube page, my Instagram page. You guys, can you see how pure white the doors are looking? We have also painted this and they look absolutely amazing. And here's another little surprise over there. Did you guys see it? It's in the bathroom. Here it is again. Can you tell that we're cruising nicely? Can you tell? So as you can tell, we are working on final touches. And speaking of final touches, they are so expensive. They are tiny things, but you pay so many of them that they end up costing you so much. Like this little window thing is here, about 48 rands, but you have to pay like 1 million of them, and then you have to pay like 1 million rand. Also bought lights. You guys, cannot wait to show you. Also went to shop for a few more plants to add into the garden because there were some that were dying and I needed to replace them. Fortunately, did not get the time to show you how they look on the garden, but for this exercise I went to builders, as you can tell, and these I thought were quite affordable. Now that was last week, and this week this is what we have begun doing, and I think it's coming together so beautifully. Let me know what you think on the comments section below. Until next week, do keep safe.